In 2017, a commercial flight vanished mid-air over one of the most heavily monitored airspaces in the world. No distress calls, no wreckage, no radar trail. It's just 172 people. Gone. To this day, not a single clue has been found. No black box, no bodies, no explanation. The disappearance of Flight Aurora 67 remains one of the greatest aviation mysteries of the 21st century. But what if we told you the strange part isn't just the disappearance, It's what came after. Chapter 1. The flight that never landed. Flight Aurora 67 was a routine international red-eye flight from Anchorage, Alaska to Vladivostok, Russia, with a stopover in Fairbanks, operated by North Siberia Airlines. The Airbus A330 had been flying this route weekly for over a decade without issue. On March 22, 2017, the aircraft took off from Anchorage at 9:42 p.m. It had 172 people on board, 163 passengers, 2 pilots, and 7 cabin crew. The weather was reported to be clear and communication from the cockpit was normal until 10:23 p.m., when the plane entered a quiet region near the Arctic Circle known as the Ghost Vortex, an area infamous among pilots for strange electrical interference. At 10:31 p.m., all contact was lost. No mayday, no alerts, just ... silence. Chapter 2. The search. When Aurora 67 failed to check in with Russian air traffic control, an emergency was declared. Search and rescue operations were launched within hours, involving the US, Russia, and even Canada. Over 200,000 square kilometers were scanned using satellite imaging, sonar, and aerial surveillance. Not a single trace of the aircraft was found. No oil slicks, no fuselage debris, not even a floating seat cushion. And then, the radar data. When NORAD released air traffic data, investigators found something strange. The aircraft had deviated slightly from its course around 10:27 p.m., just minutes before vanishing. But the shift didn't follow any known emergency pattern. It was as if the plane turned sharply into an empty zone and then dropped off the radar. Chapter 3. Strange signals. Months after the incident, amateur radio operators from Norway to Mongolia began reporting strange, encrypted signals on aviation emergency frequencies. These signals were irregular, pulsing bursts of static followed by faint Morse-like taps. Experts analyzed the data and found something horrifying. The codes were not random. They contained partial flight data, call signs, and even time-stamped coordinates matching Flight Aurora 67. But here's the terrifying part. The coordinates were impossible. They pointed to a location over the Barents Sea. And under the sea, was someone or something trying to send a message? Chapter 4. The Black Ice Theory. A new theory emerged in 2019. Some scientists believed Aurora 67 might have encountered a massive atmospheric anomaly, a black ice vortex. This theoretical weather phenomenon is like a tornado made of freezing air and electromagnetic energy, capable of distorting time and space, even warping GPS signals. Dr. Alexei Morozov, a Russian climatologist, published a controversial paper suggesting that Flight Aurora 67 may have flown directly into one of these invisible storms. He was mocked by many in the scientific community, but 2 weeks after his paper went public, Dr. Morozov vanished while on a research trip in Siberia. His last known location? Near the same latitude where Aurora 67 disappeared. Chapter 5. The Missing Passenger. In 2021, a bizarre twist brought the case back into the spotlight. A man named Ethan Rawls, presumed to have died on Aurora 67, was spotted on a street camera in Tokyo, Japan. He was disoriented, barefoot, and wearing a North Siberia Airlines crew jacket. DNA confirmed his identity. But here's where things get chilling. He looked exactly the same as he did in 2017, not a day older. When authorities tried to question him, he vanished from his hospital room. Security footage showed static-filled interference during the entire night. All that was left behind was a scrap of paper with a set of numbers. 66.937N, 50.108E, the center of the Barents Sea. No vessel has ever dared to search there again. Chapter 6. What really happened? To this day, experts still argue over what happened to Flight Aurora 67. Some claim it was a tragic accident aircraft malfunction that left no survivors. Others point to government cover-ups, time anomalies, or even extraterrestrial interference. A group of Reddit users known as the Aurora Watch has been collecting strange data patterns in Arctic satellite feeds. They claim that every March 22nd since 2017, a shadow-like blip appears in the same spot the plane disappeared, and always at 10:31 p.m. Coincidence or something more? Chapter 7. The internet file that should not exist in late 2022. A cybersecurity researcher named Lin Chung from Seoul stumbled upon a file buried deep in the dark web. It was labeled simply a 67_raw, TRN. The file was encrypted, massive, and curiously tagged with a time stamp. The 22nd of March 2017, 10 hours 31 minutes and 4 seconds p.m. The exact moment Aurora 67 vanished. After weeks of decryption, Lin uncovered what appeared to be raw cockpit audio logs and sensor data from the missing aircraft. The audio was crackled, distorted, but contained chilling snippets. Pilot, repeating systems, unresponsive, visual distortion. We're not in the sky anymore. Followed by a high-pitched screech, and then a child's voice whispering something unintelligible. Digital forensics experts confirmed the metadata matched Aurora 67's aircraft systems, but no official agency ever acknowledged the file's authenticity. Hours after Lin posted his findings to a private subreddit, his profile went dark, his website offline. His apartment? Found empty lights on, food still on the table, computers still running. A note was found on his desk, handwritten. It wasn't just a storm. Something came through. Chapter 8. Mass memory glitch. Perhaps the most disturbing detail came not from satellites, pilots, or scientists, but from the passengers' families. In interviews conducted between 2017 and 2020, over 24 families reported a phenomenon now called the mass memory glitch. They claim they received phone calls or text messages from their loved ones after the plane vanished. Most were incomplete or gibberish. One mother received a voicemail that repeated only one word: outside, outside, outside. A teenage girl claimed she dreamed of her missing brother, standing outside their home in the rain, holding a paper plane. When she woke up, she found a paper plane on her windowsill, one folded exactly how he used to make them as a child. Even more puzzling, every single surviving relative interviewed experienced a loss of time on the day of the disappearance described as missing, 7 to 13 minutes from their memory, during which they couldn't recall where they were or what they were doing. A psychologist published a paper calling it collective grief-induced hallucination. But conspiracy forums believe something far darker: that the passengers of Aurora 67 were trying to reach back. Flight Aurora 67 is more than just a missing aircraft. It's a reminder that our world still holds secrets hidden in the clouds. Buried in ice and pulsing in frequencies we can't explain, the truth may still be out there, waiting, watching, whispering to those who dare to listen. Do you think Flight Aurora 67 will ever be found? Or are some mysteries meant to stay buried beneath the mist? Disclaimer: this story is a dramatized narrative based on real, unsolved mystery themes and aviation incidents. Names, locations, and events have been modified for storytelling purposes. Always verify facts from official sources when discussing real-world events. If you enjoyed this mysterious deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Share your theories in the comments below. We read every one of them. Stay curious and stay safe.